Alright, good afternoon all. We're back to our CorelDraw classes, and today we shall be drawing geometries, cycle geometry. And these are, let me confirm, alright, it's covering. These are the diagrams, cycle geometrical diagrams that we're going to be designing in our CorelDraw class. I think it's now visible. Actually, we're going to be using the pick tool and the shape flyout tool, and so also the ellipse tool, right? I think these are the tools we are going to be using, and let's quickly start without waste of time. This is the first diagram. We want to draw this, so let me pick this into our CorelDraw environment. Let me create another page. You right click and click on insert page after. That is after the page 4, so it has inserted another page. And I'm sorry, I'm going to delete all these grid lines since the usage is over. And then the vertical ones, I've cleared all the grid lines. Clear all, and this also I've cleared it. Alright, I've cleared all the grid lines. So let's start. I'm going to paste the picture I've copied from. Of course, it's not going to be all that clear since it is from Word, but if you bitmap it, you click, select it, and then you do what? You click on bitmap, and then you convert to bitmaps and click on OK. So now it will look somehow, but we can as well be comparing with the one in MS Word. This is the one selected, and it's the one we are going to create. So let us quickly start doing this. Alright, so let me utilize the right side of the page. Of course, we're supposed to use ruler to measure the distance from this part, from the center portion of the cycle. We measure from here to here as a diameter, but I don't think if it is all that necessary for now. The aim is for us to understand how to draw. So when you see, I've clicked on, this is the ellipse tool, or you press F7, then you hold down your control key and then you drag. When you hold down your control key and drag, it gives you a perfect cycle 360 degrees. We've discussed this in the theory class yesterday. But if you just click on the ellipse and then you click, or you just draw anyhow, it's going to give you what we call an ellipse. Okay, do we understand? This is a cycle. Well, this is an ellipse. This one is 360 degrees, while this is an ellipse. Do we understand? All right. Now let me remove this, and then I'm going to work on this. First of all, if you look at the thickness, I haven't done any measurement here, but if you want to measure it, you pick the hard copy of the assignment given to you, and then you measure the distance from here to here. That is the diameter. I've drawn the grid line. Now if you click on it for the first time, it gives you this. If you click for the second time, it gives you this. But I'm not going to do the skewness now. Let's just understand how we go about drawing this. The first thing is the thickness of the line. I think 1.5. It seems to be somehow equivalent with what we have there, but 2 I think it is. Then the line, the color. This is coloring the inner part. We call it fill color, which is this. If I color it with this, can you see this is fill color? But if I want to color the line, that is what we call outline color. Outline color. So how do you do it? You right click on the color here. You left click. Sorry, you right click. Right clicking gives you an outline color. Left click gives you the fill color. Do you understand? Good. Then we check on. Sorry, I zoom it for us to be seeing what we're doing. Then let's locate the center portion of the cycle. I can do that by just drawing a very small 360-degree cycle, and then I will fill it with red color, and I will remove the outline, and then I will align it in here, CE. So this is the center. I know everyone knows how to do it, right? Is it? See, you select the two and press CE. All right. So this tells you that this grid line is not correct. The grid line is supposed to be within these bounding boxes. Let me zoom it out. Zoom it in first. So I think this is the center of it. Okay. Then I need to draw. I have two ways of doing this, but I think the simplest one is for you to take the line what? The freehand tool. You know how to use this freehand tool? I want to locate the center part, CE left. If I want to click only the line, you have to press Alt. So it's because the line is located at the, look at it. The first thing here is this. The next thing is the line. The next object is the cycle, is it?
Yes.
So as it is like this, if at this point I want to click the line, how do I do that? If I click, this is the line, right? So what if I want to select the cycle? I have to press Alt from here, and then it selects it for you. Can you see it has selected the line? Of course, I have to leave it this way. Then when I'm done, I don't want to see this demarcation, that the black portion of it started here. I don't want to see it. So there's something we're going to do later. So I'll drag this part also. So let me start from here. This tells you that the line is on the what? On the cycle, right? So if I right click and I go to order and I take it to what? Back one step, right? It hasn't done it. Back one. Can you see? It's gone, right? For the two, is it? Even though the line is somehow more thicker than this, but I just want us to understand what we are doing vividly. That's why I drew it that way. So I now want to do a kind of, I want to maintain same thickness of the line. So I've erased that. When I press and I select, I press Ctrl D, it gives me another duplicate of the line. So now this is the time we're going to introduce skewness. Let me create another line here. If I select for the second time, What does it do? It gives me these bounding boxes. Then I can rotate it. How? If I hold it this way, sorry, I'm sorry. Okay, when I click and I click again, I can rotate. Can you see? This is rotation using the skewness something. Look at it. I can stop somewhere here. I've done an undo. But for what I'm doing here, if I need a vertical line and I need it to be perfect, please come over here. Can you see something here? Angle of what? Rotation. You rotate it from here. Just click on it once and rotate it from here. If I want it to be upright, if I give it 90 degrees and I press enter, can you see it is what? 90 degrees. If you give it maybe, for example, 45 degrees, can you see it gives you 45 degrees angle? Are we there?
Yes.
If you give it probably, let's say 180, it will maintain the position because it is already on 180. Okay? But do you know I can give it minus 90? It will take it from the is it anti-clockwise or clockwise from the other side? So it all depends what really you're doing. So let's just take it 90 degrees. This is more perfect than you using the skewness, unless if that's the design demands. Are we understanding? So CET, you know, it is the diameter, so it has fits into the cycle without any problem. But one thing is this is what we are actually drawing. We are drawing this, right? So we don't need this portion from here downward, is it? So you click, zoom it. Please always zoom whenever you're working in CorelDraw. Always zoom it so you see what you're doing vividly. So I wanted to measure something here. I don't want it to exceed this line. That's the main aim of grid lines. You can be using it to direct you so you don't have problems. You see, this is 4 corner. Sometimes the corner of the line matters. If you press F12, can you see corners here? Different sort of corners, different corners. Look at one corner here. It is the one we're using. Look at another one here, which is rounded. If you click on this, sorry, F12. If you select this, you have to select one of these. Then you click. Can you see it has changed?
Yes.
It has changed. So it all depends what you're doing. Sometimes the corner matters. Based on what is on ground. But let's go back to what we're having as default. I think something like this. No. F12. It's here. Right. This is what we have. But do you know we don't want to see this line on top of this small cycle, is it? So it has been selected. You right click and go to other, back one. It has gone back. All right. Then F4 to zoom the entire object on the screen. I think by now you somewhere you're about finishing radius and then diameter, and you have code. All right. Reduce them to maybe 10 and then Ctrl K to break them. So you position them where appropriate. This is the diameter, and then this is the code. I haven't drawn the code. You can just take this freehand and then start from where they started and just draw your code. Maybe give it something 1 or so, or you leave it the way it is, as it is, like that on the original one. And okay, then if you don't want to see them on the line, you do what we have done. For their own design, the black line is on the red line on the cycle. So then you introduce your code here. It's like this. These write-ups are too big, so I've reduced the font size to. You see, in CorelDraw you can take anything into any position anywhere you want it. Unlike in MS Word. MS Word only enables you to type. The graphics you do in MS Word is unlike that of CorelDraw. Okay. So we've drawn it, and let's zoom it and see what we have. If we press F9, it gives you this preview. You see what we have? F9 gives you this preview. Okay, so we're done with this now. Can we check another one? Which is the other one you said? Which one do you want us to? Huh? Which one? Okay. Before then, let me introduce you how you draw arc like this. This very one. Convert it to bitmap. So this should go, right? We've gotten ours here. Maybe someone might ask the question, why is it that since we have this, what do we have to draw this? The answer is clear. Which one is more clear? Which is more original? This is original. The second answer, if you want to temper, if you want to do some kind of touches on the diagram, on the graphics, you cannot do it here. This one is in form of image. But here you can change the color to something different. Can you see? You can do transformations. Maybe let's just do some kind of transformations on it. Let me remove this. Do we agree that we have different kind of multiples of objects here to make up this diagram? Then if I want to move it, if I remove it this way, maybe if I move it this way, can you see what is happening? It's not going together with the rest, is it? So you have to do what we call grouping. Then you highlight everything and then come over here. Combine. We're not combining, we're rather group, because they are different. Combine and grouping are different. You shall see the meanings of that later. So I've grouped it. Let me use the original one here. If I want to work on it, I have to do what? Ungroup. Can you see ungroup? But you see, as I'm moving now, it follows, it moves together with everything. Then you ungroup. When you ungroup, then you can do some kind of transformations, as we said. Maybe I need something. Let's see, not this color really. Maybe I need something like this. And from the transformation side of what I'm trying to do, come to this is extrude. Can you see some things here? You see, we're transforming. This is kind of, it's a shadow, but it's giving you something different from what you have. It's extruding. Do you understand extrude? Something that comes out, right? Is it not? Something that comes out. So this is kind of transformation. So the other one cannot really transform, cannot be transformed this way because it has been bitmap already. So anyway, there are a lot of transformation. We haven't reached to where we start transforming objects, but with time we may of course we have to treat each and every tool here. So please let me make use of this to start up with this one, this very image here. Okay, for this one, let me group it. Control G grouped for you. Same thing with the grouping. Okay, now we need these things. Let me remove the on group first. Then we'll remove all these things we don't need. We don't need any of these things. But the line, maybe I'll make use of the line. The line, maybe let me keep it somewhere. And this other line, I don't need it. Sorry, I don't need all other things here. Okay, so let's see something here. Okay, we don't need this also. So let's start. I want to draw this sector. What the best thing of doing this for implementing this is to duplicate the object, and then you center it within. You see it's not going to change, right? Since it's a duplicate of itself, is it not? Then after doing that, then you pick your what do you call it? The shape tool. Look at what I'm doing. Before then, please, let's do it outside so you understand what I'm doing. You know, I talked about this yesterday. So can you see what is doing? Yes, if I'm doing this, if you are dragging it outward, if you are dragging it this way outward, it will be giving you this. But if you are dragging it inward this way, it will give you what? It will give you a segment together with the what? The cycle, the circumference of the cycle, and an angle within. I don't know, maybe until when you practice. If I drag it this way outside, it gives me that. But even if I'm dragging it out, rightward like this, but innerward like this, innerward, it will be coming together with a kind of what do you call it? The angle, this angle. So that's the reason why I stopped and I wanted to. Okay, let me give this this color, this very color they've used. Can you see this color? It's not as dark as that one. If you click on this, it gives you different sort of colors, maybe the one that will suit what you're doing. So you select the one. You can as well use some kind of touches to improve the color. Maybe we're going to take a class on color. So if I select it, you see it's on top. If you look at it very well, you might see the redness of the one at the back. So we want to implement you take this and then you take it this way. I don't know the angle given, but it seems this is, I think, okay. let's take for example this is same size with this, but it's not in same position, is it? Then you can use your, let's assume this is if you click again it gives you this, and then okay, sorry, you cannot do this. Let me see if it is possible for me to use let's say 90 degrees. Okay, 45. Okay, if I can get this now, this is what I'm supposed to get. For example, are you there? If you don't want to be wasting time turning it, you make sure that this is here, this portion, so you can take it that way. This is what I'm saying. CE, let me give it a different color. Then when I click, can you see it is here? So if I want it to be here, it is just what, 90 degrees, is it? So if I give it 90 degrees, so let's test. Okay, it is here now. Okay, so that means it is more than 90 degrees. It has gone more than 90 degrees, so that you can now skew it this way. I mean, you can move it this way. So there are a lot of ways you do things here. So for the arc, you don't need this is the difficult one, right? For this one, you just duplicate and then you take it outward, and then you get that. And for this one, for the segment, this other segment here, okay, let's just do it completely. This is sector. For example, for the arc, you duplicate it and you centralize. Then if I click and I click on this shape tool, this is an arc, right? I don't know how possible for it to come this way, but if you use angle either 90, 45 is not going, then you have to turn it again. Okay, so let me delete it. Then we will have to take the beginning of the cycle maybe from this way, so we can reduce it from both sides through here. If you click, you see this is where it starts. So I want it to turn like 180 degrees. So let's test. Can you see it is here now, right? Can you see it here? So I've started and I'll stop here, and I'll pick this one. Sorry, something not good. Let me give it a different color. Somewhere here, right? Can you see the other one there? The other line. Modibo. Are you getting it? This is an arc. You see, these are things, just play around. Habib, this is another challenge, right? But this is not programming. So this is arc. I can right click and I drag here, and then I will double click, then I write arc. Let me increase the size to 12. 11. Then now segment. I have to duplicate this, and then I'll centralize it. I'll give this a color. Then how do we draw segment? I think the position of this thing for the segment as it is correct. It's okay. So you pick your shape tool, move it this way, right outwardly. Sorry, not outwardly, inwardly, sorry. Inwardly. You've seen what we've done, right? I want to do something here. This is a grid line. Let me pick a grid line and skew it. If you click on the grid line again itself, it gives you the skewness capabilities. These skewness handles. So I want to do something like this. You see, I'm trying to give myself a direction. I think if we should do it this way, it is bigger than what we have here, right? But like this, I think it's okay, right? So you click, and then you pick this, then you continue doing your work here, and this one here. Sorry, this one here. Then for here, what do? This is a node. It is a node. If you double click it with shape tool, it will get disappeared. Once this node goes away, then you've gotten your what? Segment, is it not? No. I'm not seeing the. Okay, it is there, right? Okay, you can convert it to curves first. Convert to curves, so it will give you the handles, and then you double click, it goes. Like this segment is bigger, right? I think this is the time we've gotten it. I think so. Or thereabout, something. You can work on this and trace this very one. Let me show you something, another way of doing it. Okay, right segment here first. Segment. Then you do what? You skew it, right? So you can work on this to get what we wanted. For the first time, you pick your ellipse and draw it. So this is the time you have issues with this very one. You have to have virtually same size of the cycle. Do you understand what I mean by tracing? You'll be placing objects on and tracing, even though sometimes people do not want this kind of design. So give it a color and thickness. Maybe you give it something here. Okay, then you draw your sector. How do you draw sector? Let me just put it this way here. How do you draw this sector? Using tracing. Pick your freehand tool here. This is freehand tool. You start from here. Click again. Click again. If you click, it will create join. Then you click on this. Then this is what we call a closed object. This object is now closed. As you can see, this very one we are trying to imitate is having a color within it, is it? But if an object is not closed, you can't give it a fill color, rather outline color. Let's set an example. This is a freehand tool. I click on this, click, and I click on it again. It joins. I click, and I dropped the freehand tool. No matter how you try, you can't give it the color, fill color, but you can give it a right. You can right click for the what? For the outline color. So you have to be careful. If it is not closed, there will be no fill color for it. If I click like this, pick your freehand tool, click on this, right click, come to what we call curve, then you move it like this, move it this way. Then if you're able to do this, if I remove this, what do you have? A segment. Is it not? Yes, of course, a segment. But you have to be careful if you are doing this a kind of tracing or something. Sometimes it doesn't look like original. I think we've done a lot with the idea given to you. Which one are you suggesting? Huh? This? This or this? 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 This?
Yes.
Oh, what is there in here? All right, good. So let's try it. Let me remove this. I think we're done with it, right? This is simple. Very simple. Let me convert it to bitmap so we can have a clear view of it. Good. Habib, can you do it? Okay, this is an arc. I wanted to copy the side. This is a cycle. Good afternoon. This is a cycle, and all right, let me remove this. Its usage is over. Clear it. All right. So this is a cycle. First of all, it's now I understand the reason why you said you want us to do this. Modibo. All right, understand. First thing, let us draw this. No, not the cycles. This like is it angles you call it or what? Let me start with this first. So if this is the center of my cycle, for example, if this is the center of this cycle, for example, one was drawn here, right? You draw one here. Okay, one was drawn here, another one was drawn here, another one here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, then 11 from here. Well, if you look at it very well, if I do this, let me just do one trace in here, and then I will be over. It will be over. If I do this, if I pick my hand tool, freehand tool, and I right click the any of the color here. If you can but the main ones are this from here: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? The problem is that they were not colored. Okay, but let's do it this way. If we start from here, but this is the inner one, I want to do the outer one, so I have to start from here: 1, 2, 3, okay, let's try. Can you see? But one, you must have to understand what you're doing. Let me erase it. It's not over, right? It's not over. What I understood from it is this. Let me even zoom it for you to see clearly. F9. Forget about these cycles. The cycles are not all that difficult. But this, if I pick this big one, here, 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 then I will turn it. No, it's not same size. You have to draw it the way it is. It's not same size. I wanted to just draw one and then continue to reflect. What we call reflection, right? What is in here, what is in your right hand side here is the same as what is here. Reflection, is it not? So if I draw the one here, I will just turn it this way. Is it what is here is what is here? So if I draw the one here, if I turn it this way, it will be here. Actually, it will take time. Maybe in our next class we treat this. Of course, reflection can work. This is almost time for prayer. We'll have to stop here, and maybe you start solving before we come back to CorelDraw. Please don't forget to share, like, comment, and subscribe.